All meetings of the Select Board are meetings in the public, not of the public. Members of the public must be acknowledged by the chair before speaking and state their name for the record, so I don't put the wrong name in there. All right, call the meeting to order and approve/edit the agenda.
I have no changes or additions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any public comment?
I had one, and I hope you guys aren't mad about it, but
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I don't like the preface. You hope we're not mad about it.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding. No.
Only
Yeah.
we've had sort of the repeat protests on the triangle down.
Yep.
And I just didn't know if that's considered an issue, if there's people on both sides of the road, or if we're just fine with them doing their thing.
Well, I actually, the good news is that is state highway.
Right, I know
So
that.
I was like, thank you.
yeah.
And I did I emailed Danny Dover because he was one of the ones organizing it. And he came and met with me. And I'm like, look, I have no jurisdiction here. I just want to make sure you're safe.
Yep,
Do you,
exactly.
you know, I told him there was like a couple of cones behind here, the building that he could take. Do you guys have like orange vests? And I said, you know, if someone's coming, we have had a couple accidents there where people hit the bridge, and he said, no, so far everybody had been really respectful. And I just said, you know, if this gets really big, you know, I'm just concerned about your safety. And he just said they really wanted to continue to meet there. They'd seen a couple troopers and they'd waved to him. And I said, you know, you can be on the sidewalk. And then a lady emailed me today, Bev Kerr. I said, you can be on the sidewalk. We don't have a problem with that, but you can't impede. You need to let room for a wheelchair, stroller, go by if you're on the sidewalk. And Danny did say if it got really big, he would look for another place to meet or, you know, get people out there. But I did talk to him and recommended some safety. And I said, you know, obviously if the state has a problem, you're going to find out. But he said, so far the police go by and waved.
Yep.
I heard a couple people, you know, he's honking or whatever. Friday night I was here till like 5:45.
It was 6 o'clock or so.
Yeah, 6 or so. And I heard, you know, like somebody squealed out, but I don't think, he said it so
Right.
far had been
Yep.
very
They do
pleasant.
that anyway.
And, but,
Yeah, so state highway, then
Yeah.
basically it's for the state troopers to
yep, or,
enforce any
yep,
right away.
somebody else
Yep,
to
okay.
decide, yeah. I just said, you know, that if they, you know, he said, and he did say, he goes, I can ask people if they have, you know, vests to wear them. I just said, you know, it makes me nervous, even though it's not a town
There are
highway that
accidents
somebody,
there. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because people are looking for people coming this way and then they're turning this way, or people are scooting while somebody's stuck there,
Yeah.
and then they
Because
come-
somebody had come in and seen me and said they were concerned about their safety. So I emailed Danny, and then he's like, oh, can I come in and talk to him? I'm like, absolutely. And then, but I'm like, you know, he did say, he said maybe he would, I just said, come get the cones, put them up on the end just to, but I don't know how many people, I haven't driven by.
There
When I
was a
go,
lot there.
when
It
I
was
go
Friday
home, I go
night.
the
It
other
was on
way.
the sidewalk and in the
The only
triangle.
trouble I saw was they were, quite a few people there, 15 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but they were staggering across the road. So they had the road completely covered with people.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't
that's
see
no
that
go.
part because I went by around
And it's like,
5:30,
You
6
can sit
o'clock.
still in that triangle, I think.
or if you're going across, get together and go.
Yep.
Yeah, because I did tell him that. I said,
Send some of
obviously
them
you
up to
can't.
the triangle there as you go up North Road.
Well, he
They can
doesn't.
separate them.
Yeah, I did suggest, I said you could reach out to, you know, some of the owners of Tessie's, you could talk to the state police about other places where you could stand that are more, you know, that are
They want
safer.
that spot, though.
They do, and
That makes
that's exactly what he said. But, so, aside from me bringing up safety concerns on.
Yeah, I'm more thinking like if it does kind of grow out of control.
Well, and he did say,
Yep.
Danny's on the Conservation Commission, and he did say, he goes, if I show up and there's like a bunch of people there, he goes, I'd like it to get bigger, but not right there. He said, we'd have to find another alternate
All
location.
right, that's good to know that they can.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he was good, and I said, look, I've always had very good luck with the state police. You know, you could talk to them about options where you could go, or talk to private property owners along the route.
But there was a bunch of them Friday night, yeah.
Yeah, so, but then, yeah, Bev emailed me today, and she's like, is there a rule against us being on the sidewalk? I'm like, no, just wheelchairs.
I figured you probably already had an answer. to that,
Yeah,
so.
well, it was, you know, I didn't want to wade into it, but I also, I didn't want someone to get hurt, and knowing that this gentleman had come to me with his concern. So, and Danny's so easy to talk to. He's a
Yeah.
sweetheart, so.
Well, I don't want to make anyone else waste time.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Thanks, Ben. All right, no other public comment?
Crazy, like they did out in Utah, run over somebody.
Oh, boy, let's not say we did.
All right, next on the agenda, Babes Bar catering permit for an event 10/18 from 6 to 11 at the White Church, 129 Church Street in Bethel. And Jesse's on. I
Yeah.
don't think you have
Look
anything
how
to say, Jesse?
far
You're
in
good.
advance he got his permit.
I know. Good job, Jesse.
Thumbs up. No, we're just teasing.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any conversation? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Coin drop request for Bethel Youth Sports, 920, 225, 9 to 3 on Pleasant Street. Proof of insurance needed, and you probably looked at this too, Jordan?
Yeah.
So it says, okay, no solicitation shall take place within 750 feet of an intersection.
1,500 feet from a 35-mile-an-hour speed zone.
Where do you see that? What number?
This one.
Oh, I was looking at this. I was looking at the application. So did you get my text messages back to you?
Yeah, I put in a phone call first to our insurance company would work, just to see if they could just toss us one per day for that. Just because it's easier because they have all my information and they can just
Right.
add youth sports
For
for
like a
Saturday.
rider.
And so I was just gonna check that before I go through that, but I filled out most of that information and it already came up with like $75 for the day.
Right, because I tried to do it. I went on to check while I was texting you to see if it would work, and I clicked fundraiser, but it wanted a location, and I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I put in the location, but it wouldn't give me an event location. So I was like, all
I'll
right.
just make the event location the school.
Oh, okay, there you go. Because
That'd be that address and it's right in front of that address.
okay, all right, because that's what I was trying to figure out, was like a venue. I was trying to do it, and I think it's like $75 or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal, but I've never had anyone do it, and I didn't know who has your EIN.
I assume the bank has it for me.
Well, I didn't know if it was the school, like if you're
Has
part of the
nothing to
school,
do with
you're
the
your
school.
own entity. I didn't know that.
Nonprofit, yeah.
Because they used to pay the bills for a long time, so I assumed it was through the school.
I
'Cause
don't
we-
think, I mean, at one point maybe it was the boosters, but since Sally had it, it was its own entity.
Oh, cool. I
So
wasn't
for like
sure.
13 years.
Yeah, I didn't know. Maybe they just, I wasn't sure. All right.
And you know about all the proper signage, because there's been,
Yeah, the fire department's gonna loan it to us.
okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that they make their own little signs, and next time.
We'll put up a Bethel Youth Sports banner
Nice.
and then another sign for that, but all the
all the
correct signage
real
will
signs,
be
not just little paper.
borrowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you're gonna do it in front of the field, so that's a
Yeah,
good
that field's
idea.
going to be busy. They're going to be all day at the rec center with 5K-ish runs. and
they're doing-
everything.
they're
They're gonna be
doing-
below that, right?
Right, in front of the school area, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be the 5K, there's gonna be there's a soccer jamboree type thing down there. And then the Ford Fest and everything else, so.
That'd be
There's a-
good.
Perfect.
There's a bike
Should rake in the dough.
Thing, too.
Trail, they have
Oh, bike
trails.
Bike trails, yeah, I can walk up my backyard and watch it. All right, do we have a motion on that?
Move to accept or approve or whatever I need to say.
Pending insurance.
Pending insurance.
Pending insurance.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so you just need to sign. Right? There.
My question
All
is,
right, and next on the agenda is coin drop for the Bethel Fire Department on 5/23/26 and 9/05/26.
Drawing is generic.
What's your pleasure?
The signs you need.
do we have to have a drawing from the fire department for one?
Doesn't he have one? He usually does it. I'm not, let me see if he submitted. Pam might have it.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I was
usually have
just
a
thinking the same
drawing.
thing.
Oh, I just have the legend. He might have it. Maybe she has it.
Well, the last, I'm sure they'll just photocopy the last one. The last
Yeah.
one they had was perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we know they know how to do it right.
Yeah, exactly. And I plus that everybody gets their signs from. So you did see this part, Jordan, where it said you have to be within 1,500 feet of a speed zone? in excess of 35, so you're gonna have to come 1,500 feet back from.
Right across the street from the school where the highway.
Well, it's 50 up until the fire station.
Right, so 750 from
No,
there.
it's not.
No, it's 25, when it hits 35 miles an hour, right across from the school, that becomes the state highway, so you have to be 1,500 feet from the 35-mile-an-hour sign.
Yeah.
Because then it goes to 40, then 50. But yeah, sorry, I just want to make sure you saw.
Well, read it
It's-
again.
No
here.
No
solicitation,
solicitation will take place on any portion of a state highway with
Posted speed limits above
35,
Nor-
nor within 1,500 feet of a speed zone in excess of.
So as long as
Right,
you're
that's
away
why I
from the
just said-
40,
Up beyond
that's why I
the fire
told him to
station.
measure 1,500 feet from the 40-mile-an-hour sign, is
Right.
what I said.
so
Yeah.
1,500 feet from the fire station is definitely between the lotto and the school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be fine. Yeah, no,
All
I
right.
just want to
I
make sure.
had to read that twice, because the first time I read it, I said,
Case
oh
of
shit,
state
he's in
police
trouble.
stop, I
Yeah,
wanted to make
and
sure.
where it's
Well, originally it
35,
was for,
I know, Church Street.
Church Street, and I was like, well, I don't want to cause
and the
issues.
35 is at
That's
the,
the,
that's where the state
I
highway
think you'll make
begins.
out better where you're going to go.
I mean, it would probably be better over there, but
I think you're going to do better
Right.
35
financially
is back
there.
up in the,
But the 35 is where the state highway begins.
right, but it doesn't matter
Right.
as long as it's 35.
Exactly.
Right, but 750 feet from the 35.
make an appointment to go walk it together.
I think we should.
No.
I just want to make sure, because we don't usually have it out there. It's always on Church Street, but this time we can't because of all the fun stuff happening. All right, so we now have the one for the Bethel Fire Department, 523 and 95, both of them in 2026, from 9 to 1 on Church Street. Do I have a motion?
second.
All those in favor? All right, Town of Bethel, updated policy and procedure on the collection of delinquent taxes and utilities. This update is to reflect the changes to the tax collection laws.
So the state, in their infinite wisdom, decided to change the tax collection. So we have now, we cannot sell a property at tax sale unless the person, they have to be over a year old. So that makes it, right now, we'd be collecting delinquents from 2024 because they'd be a year old as of May 15th, 2024 to May 15th, 2025. And they have to owe us over $1,500. I have a parcel, it's gonna take this guy 20 years before he ever hits $1,500. So once they hit 1,500 and we've held them for a year, then we can sell them at tax sale. Same thing with water sewer. If they have water sewer that's $1,500 or more a year old, then we can sell them at tax sale. Once they meet that original hurdle, then we can tack on current taxes and or current water sewer bill if they're behind. But currently at the tax list, we have a lot of delinquencies for 2025, but I can only sell 3 properties from 2024. So the thing that's difficult about this is the full year. And the fact is, I'm not sure that everybody understands, we pay school tax in full at the end of June. So the money that we haven't collected, we've already paid school tax that we haven't collected. So we sit on this sizable, nut. So we have 3 tax ones. I don't know yet about water sewer. I can think of one particular. So we'll do a small tax sale. And then we'll see what rolls around for the following year. But
Did I read that right, that we can't charge the 8% interest until after May?
we charge 1% interest every month, 8% is penalty, and they only get that charged once after the May 15th. Yep.
Yeah, so if before May 15th,
Yeah.
you get it paid up, you give no penalty,
Exactly.
Except the 1%.
except the 1%.
Yep, and we really work
Each
with
month.
people on that, doing payment arrangements. That's something we always say is get it paid off.
It was 8%.
No.
No way.
No, because when your tax bill goes out until July, you have it actually till the following year in May. And so we're always, make any payment you can before that deadline, even if you can't pay it in full, anything. I said, we don't want to charge you 8%. We don't want your money. But, so pay as much as you can down. But, so anyway, so this just reflects the changes in the state law. So, obviously so now people get more notice. I think the notice has to go out in 5 languages now. We always we always notify the mortgage and lien holders. Obviously, they all have a right to an abatement. And also, too, the one that some people don't know is if your property is being sold for delinquent taxes, but say you own 50 acres, and you're in a situation where you can subdivide, you only have to sell the amount to cover what you owe. So, but they have to notify you within 24 hours before the tax sale, and the request also has to be accompanied by a certification from the environmental conservation and the town zoning officer. So they'd have to be on the ball, you know, a little more than 24 hours in advance. So, you know, so like I said, it's just going to make us, you know, a little bit behind. We're just going to have to hold stuff longer because of the law change. So, not that we're rushing to tax sales, but
I was gonna say, do we
It's
do a
tough.
lot of tax sales?
I try to do tax sale every year. Yeah, because it just can get out of control.
How many did you have when you took over?
The first year I did a tax sale, I started with over 70 properties. Yeah, they hadn't collected taxes in a long time, so we got the list whittled down. Same thing with water sewer, but with water sewer, it's easier because if you don't pay your bill after X amount of days, I'm gonna shut your water off. That's state law, we can do that. So we do that, and people pay. You know, we always try to work out payment arrangements and things like that, of course. But yeah, so right now it stinks because 2025, everything that was due in May, it's a big list right now. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, that's the updated collection policy.
Motion to approve changes to tax collection laws.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, now, Town of Bethel Uniform Real Allocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policy and Checklist.
You gotta go to be a.
This is updated to reflect
So we
the
understand all this.
Well, I
federal,
will tell you, this is, yeah, it's slightly ridiculous, but we have to have this to, to do like FEMA. Some of our federal projects require that we have this. And in that, we had one, but it hadn't been updated. I reached out to VLCT, hadn't heard from them. And finally, I just went in and did some more research and said, well, forget it. Because this is already laid out as the URA, you're basically just, it's just the compliance summary. So, and then I did find a checklist, which I thought was handy, but we have to have it for, you know, federal grants. So I'm not sure anybody understands it. It's just,
Well, it sounds like we need to really help people.
yeah, and we don't, I mean, so you could figure, after Irene, you had a couple buyouts. Obviously, those people were helped through FEMA, and they chose to do a buyout. So obviously, you're providing assistance, but it's not like we're planning on, you know, building a road and get through Jordan's house.
Like 89 just said, here's $300, we got your land, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's what they did.
yeah, we're just, this saying is basically you have to be a little more user-friendly, and it's for, you know, and it talks about it, acquisition of real property and stuff. So it's just one of those things that in order to keep getting federal money, we have to have updated. And ours hadn't been updated in a dog's age, so that's it.
Motion to approve the changes to federal regulations, the uniform relocation assistance.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, on to the town manager's report.
So Waters excavation is hoping to start Sugar Hill the week of October 20th. I had a conversation with him, but the issue is our in-stream permit, we're gonna try to get extended because the in-stream permit ends by then. So then by the end of October. So we need him to extend it to the end of November, and our engineers reached out to the state to have them, to hopefully they can do that. If not, it's gonna kick this project into next year. I know, but you know, the timeline is the state, this is when you have to have all in-water work done. But when, I think it was Dexter, when he reached out to them, they didn't seem like they were gonna have a problem extending it, most likely because we're in such a drought. But, so yeah, so their intent is to leave the existing, but to give them a little room and then go a little bit further uphill.
He's going up the road a ways to do it?
Going up the river, basically
yeah.
moving it to the left, yeah, yep. Phase 2 water project, did the punch list, And we're holding $10,000 in retainage until everything is 100% complete. So shouldn't take that long for him to finish up.
Do we have that money, or is that still locked up in FEMA?
Water, Phase 2 was not a FEMA project.
That was the Bernie grant.
That's, no, the DWSRF.
Bernie was the road.
Bernie was Sanders. FEMA is Waters, Sugar
Okay,
Hill.
all right.
And
This is
DWSRF.
us.
This is DWSRF, us,
Okay,
yep.
all right.
So yeah, so we're just gonna sit on 10 grand till it gets everything done. Pike will be here Monday, the 29th, to do the 1 lane on Sand Hill and 3 driveway entrances, and we're just gonna close the road. It'll just be easier. So Chris is
There's been a lot of
supposed to.
logging trucks there lately.
Yeah, so Chris is supposed to reach out to AJ, I guess AJ saw him today, so that they can talk about if we need to saw cut something or what we're doing to help them. But he was like, could you flag for us? And AJ and I said, no, but we'll close the road. So you can have
I'm
at
sure
it.
my car is somewhere else then.
He's like, all right. He's like, I don't think that's necessary. I said, well, we don't want to help you, so it's necessary to us. So he was like, okay. So Pinello Bridge is 100% complete. So currently, we've spent 1.2 million. That includes a temporary bridge, the engineers, the whole, but I'm still waiting for my final invoice from VHB. But if you take that number, we're only on the hook for 12.5%. So basically, the temporary bridge, the permanent bridge, we're gonna be out of it for 160,000, which isn't really that bad. I know people were all up in arms when they read the paper, oh, it's $1 million, yes, but they didn't hear the part about 12.5%. And we've already paid our ERAF because we've been smartly budgeting for our ERAF each year. So the ERAF for that is paid off. So that's,
Is that the bridge that was referred to as the bridge to nowhere?
yeah, to one house, yeah. You should see it, it's a thing of beauty, really. Really,
yeah.
it's nice, but yeah.
Previous manager took care of that.
Yeah, so it goes to, so
Very nice bridge.
it is a very nice bridge. So that is a little more manageable. I'm just cutting the final check to ECI this week for another 100 and something thousand. But I do have money headed back our way from Pinello. A portion of it, they allow us to requisition 75% of their 75%. So that's already headed our way, and then I'll do the final requisition through the state. So hopefully we'll see the end of wrap it up in a full completion of our payment by January, maybe, 26. And then, of course, Waters is like $800,000, so we'll be back at it again, but, I'm just sick of building stuff at this point. But other than that, unless you have any questions, we're going to do this again next Monday, so.
All right. Thank you, Therese. All right, select board minutes from 8:25. Was there any corrections or anything anybody saw that wasn't right on here?
That was good to me.
Motion to approve?
As written.
Was that a second, Dave?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Other communications, there's stuff from the planning commission, stuff from the conservation, stuff from the rec committee.
The sheriff stuff's in
And
here.
sheriff stuff in there. And that's all.
Can
the
you
other-
tell us what happened on Perham Road? It seems how it's right beside me. I never heard anything about it. I'm just curious.
Me? I wouldn't know.
I'd have to ask.
Animal problem on 291 Perham Road?
I haven't heard. Nobody called me about
Okay,
it.
well,
I was wondering more about the death investigation on 31
Yeah.
Sergeant's Way up off of Camp Brook Road.
I don't know if it's something that,
Nobody-
if somebody passes, they just have to go do a checklist.
I think, yeah, they have to call, and then they have to wait for the death investigator from the detectives from the state, then they have to wait for the... Medical examiner? Yes, medical examiner, thank you. So, yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what that.
So we still have an ongoing issue
31 Sergeant, but that
on
would be very-
Gilead Road with that dogs. So I ended up receiving text message on Saturday, and then I texted with the sheriff on Saturday and said, listen, every single time a deputy comes to town, I want you to go up there. And I guess we're just gonna ticket them into submission.
Address?
The Gilead Road, with the Freya and Buddy.
I know.
They're all registered, but they just, I have legitimate pictures. We had another neighbor call and they're loose. I said, look, they're friendly dogs, despite what you might have heard. But I said, so I did message, I messaged.
Fence or a run, it's just gotta
So,
happen.
but the problem is we can't, our ordinance is very clear. It says we can't tell them to keep them hooked, but we can tell them they have to keep them on their property. So at this point, the fines are gonna be $150 a ticket. And I said to Ryan, every time there's a deputy in Bethel, I want him up there. And if they see him, it's a $150 ticket. And if I have to hammer them with tickets into submission, then that's what's gonna happen. Because what else am I supposed to do? I've asked, we've been nice, we've taken time, we've offered to buy runs, we've offered to buy this, we've offered to do that. Game over. It's all
How
over.
many times did you guys go up there?
I only went up once.
Didn't you go up a couple
He
times?
went up twice, right?
With the trash, I went up a few different times.
Like I said, I went up a couple times. I tried to run him down. I want to talk to him. Brian, that is.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to, so I don't know what else our other option is here, but, so anyways, I'm gonna speak with Deputy Leonard. He was very good. He and I were exchanging emails last week about it, and then he came up with, I sent him some information, he came up with a form, we agreed on it, but I'm just gonna talk to him, because what I wanna know is what happens when municipal tickets go unpaid. At some point, somebody issuing a bench warrant, like what happens? I don't know. I've never, in all these years, had to do this, so I'm gonna find out, but I don't know what other choice we have here.
Yeah, because you were looking at that this morning when I stopped in to see where else. And Dietrich's
Doing the dog ordinance,
Redoing
yeah,
the dog
updating, because the
ordinance.
state
Updating it.
changed some laws and updated their, guidance on it, but it's tough. Bottom line is you have to have a cooperative pet owner.
Is it in this state, if we have an ordinance or a regulation, as long as it's equal to or more strict than the state, it's good to go?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. That's exactly right. Yep.
We just can't be more lenient.
Right, yeah, exactly. You can't do less than the state, yeah. So anyways, I texted with Ryan on Saturday and he was, he's like, will do. I'm like, so I don't know. That's what I'm kind of doing now, and then I'm gonna talk to him and see what's what, but I don't know what else to do. I don't think there is anything else to do. You keep getting whacked with $150 tickets, eventually you're gonna do
I
something.
imagine at some point you get called to court, and then if
I
you
would
skip
hope so,
that,
Because it's
then it just-
$150 per dog,
Yep,
per incident.
per incident, and I've got 3 incidents so far that I have received documentation on, so,
Then we talk about the problem, the fact they supposedly don't have 2 nickels to rub together, so.
I know, but you know what? We also have offered, and so has the sheriff's department, offered to buy them runs and this and that, and,
Jackson tried to work with
they've
them.
been, yeah, I mean, we have been more than, we've also offered, if they wanna, they could also give up the dogs. Surrender them, and we can, get them to Lucy McKenzie, and they'll find them nice homes, and it is what it is at this point, but I just don't know what else to do.
Well, they're never there, so why do they want to keep the dogs? I don't get that.
That is the $1 million question.
Why do you have a dog
He's
if you're
living
never
in
there?
Barnard now, everything's in
Yeah.
her name.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's just too bad because they're puppies and they're good. So I don't like the thought of them being out running about. It's not their fault. There's
Not
a
the
book about
puppy's
this. It
fault,
says there's no bad dogs, just bad owners, right?
Right.
I did, it's true. So, all right, so anyways, that's what I'm gonna find out what happens when you don't pay the tickets, and I'll let you know next week.
Perfect. All right. There's the communications that whoever wanted to look at those. Is there any other business to come before the board?
Hearing none, making a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
right.
we're done.
That is a record. That is a record. That is a record.
This does not happen normally.